Recording in
Our last
progress.
meeting, April 15, 2024, being no errors or omissions.
Mr. Mayor,
Motion to adopt.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, there is an error. And it's in, item 4 out of 9, Keynes Road. And, it's in our meeting, it said, I informed the residents and the council that the necessary, this is Keynes Road, the necessary repairs will be done this spring to bring the road in good condition. The culvert will be examined for repairs, and the gas tax money will be used for paving. It should be roads, not road.
For the public record, it says roads, not road.
That indicated we're going to pave Keynes Road, and that's not go forward, sir.
It's roads from the gas tax money.
Yes, sir.
Duly noted by all councillors. Didn't specify road. With that error being corrected, motion to adopt the minutes as presented.
So move, sir.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Pete, seconded by Councillor Ward. All in favor, will show of hands. Aye. Contrary carried. Bring regrets from Councillor Lee, who has work commitments tonight. He did show up at the round table, as knows what's on the agenda. Please add to your agendas 3 building permits from business applications, 424, 425, 426, the Carriage House Apartments, the 26 by 35 5 extension on the building, and the 28 by 30 garage at Alberta Drive. I think the Housing Zoning Chair came in early to look at those recommendations.
Excuse me.
First item on the agenda will be the softball field, and we're at the status on that. I think we're getting a report from Councillor Lee, Councillor Randy, or Councillor Terry on their reports coming up. Am I correct? That'll come under the Parks and Recreation report.
Yes, you will.
The dental Airbnb, Councillor Gordon Stone and Finance have a recommendation that was sent out today on the motion on that one. First lien on the property, the town manager has written to the Minister of Municipal and Provincial Affairs regarding the lien on the property under Bill 54. We had asked to be a first lien on the properties. I think Councillor Chafe and myself, town manager, attended a meeting the other day, and when Councillor Chafe will be giving an update on the status of 1 Harbin Street. Am I correct, Councillor Chafe? That's correct, yeah. Volunteer week, we had a great volunteer week. We got an opportunity to recognize our many volunteers in the town, and with a meet and greet at the Harbor Race Volunteer Fireman Social Firefighter Social Building. It was a good day with a good event, and our volunteers are doing such a great job in the town, so we want to recognize them properly here in the public forum and thank them for all the work they do. It's more and more reports of the volunteer activity that we have in our town. Without the volunteers, we couldn't make it happen. 465 Southside Road, I think the Deputy Mayor Keith Skinner has a report under his Public Works report. 7 to 11 Doyles Road, that's going to be an update from the Housing and Zoning Committee, Councillor Brendan. That's correct. And 935 Cottage Lane, again, that will be referred to Housing and Zoning for a recommendation back. Correct? Correct, yeah. We have a correspondence from Chris and Jennifer Sullivan regarding Gully Path, and addressed to myself, Sherwood Council, and they would like to see something done with their road. It's in bad state, so I'll refer that to Public Works, and you will have a recommendation from that, from your committee.
Yes, sir.
Biomax Environmental Federal Waste Water Systems and Regulations are there for information purposes. That's being referred to Public Works,
yes,
to the proper authorities.
Yep.
Movies in the park. I referred that Councillor Terry and Councillor Randy to Parks and Recreation and the civic events. Opportunities here that we might be able to partner with somebody or some organization for that movies in the park. And we got July 7th coming up. It could be, we have meetings on that next week, Mr. McCarthy, I do believe. And it could be something that we could look at as a test run for that, but just to pass on to Parks and Recreation and the civic events.
Mr. Mayor, last year, Splash done the movie night for us, and I passed it on to the civic events. I think it'd be, I don't think it'd be right to take away from the Splash, because we partnered on that, civic events and splash, right?
Okay,
And we shared the funds that were made from it, and I don't think on the side, no, up to everybody else, but
okay, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
think getting someone in to do a movie in the park or whatever, if we can we already got it on our roster for.
okay, is the earnest on, is, well, for information purposes, we can pass it along to the proper committees and for down the road. Okay, thank you. Door install, electric opener, Harbour Volunteer Fire Brigade. Social building, 2 quotes for the door installation, electronic opener at the social building, referred to finance.
Well,
Housing, zoning and finance
finance, yeah.
are gonna do the motion on that one.
Well, there's no motion on that one. I think, you have a motion for the order on that one. It was just, that was just, it was done with the lowest bidder through the type of grant
Yeah.
process. It was a little bit different than other grants.
Okay,
So that one's done, just to let you know that it's completed.
Yes, that's my note here.
Yeah.
Which is done, successful deal.
Yeah.
and I wanna thank Judy, Judy, keeps looking after our park, and she mentioned about the lighting up at the Spirit of Harbour Grace, playing site, and when the lights go out and everything, probably through wearing out or through vandalism. I wanna thank her for writing us, by the way, and I think that's being referred to Parks and Recreation. Mr. Redder hasn't looked at Councillor Burns. Right, that's regular maintenance, but sometimes some people get a bit anxious and wanna see some stuff speed up. Regatta Committee, request for the funding for the Harbour Grace Regatta. There's a motion coming from the finance on that you have in your agendas. Damage to fence caused by snow clearing out by the neighbors, as Terry Crocker with a complaint in, that's being referred to the Public Works, because we do have policies in place in the municipality with regard to how we snow clear and what can and can't be done. Mr. Crocker feels he'd be done injustice, so that's being referred to the Public Works. Nice to see correspondence from the Minister Tom Osborne regarding ambulatory services. We got a response back. Harbour Grace was certainly in the mix from his response, and they've passed that along right now, that we are in the mix, and a good reply from Minister Osborne as we try to bring that to fruition, and it ties into something else that's in the agenda later on that we proposed. Robert Thor, Vidland Motorsports, request for rental of Denny Cleary Harbour Grace Community Center parking lot, referred to the Parks and Recreation and Finance. I understand that it was done for 1 year last year. Mrs. Dwyer has worked with the gentleman, and now it's 7 days this year with time set, contract done, and everything else. Am I correct?
Contract has been sent.
Yeah, and if it's doable and we can make money, let's make it happen. So as per our regulations and direction from council, that can happen, and it's gonna be 7 days this year. Heather Pumphrey, Mrs. Pumphrey, a letter of complaint regarding the groundwater and the water lines on the evening of April the 24th. Traditionally, when the town would do fire hydrants for cleaning purposes, that we would notify the residents. Certainly a good thing. The fire department did it. Mrs. Dwyer has addressed that with the fire department, and the emergency number is a good thing, by the way, in our correspondence. What happens after hours? I know people, everybody in Harbour Grace got your numbers and mine, and Mrs. Dwyer has passed on her number also at the 222-9913 if anybody haven't got it, so we can work on it and get it done. So it's being addressed in every which way with the fire department, with the administration here, and with the fire department.
And also, Mr. Mayor, I was talking with the fire department, he said that he would let the officers know.
Yeah.
3 days beforehand, when they're going to be doing it again.
And
So we put it on our website.
that'll be the structure, 3 days?
Yes.
That's certainly long enough, and it's gotta be done, folks. So anyway, thank you, and thank you, Mr. Pumphrey, for getting a hold of us with your suggestions. Recreate Consulting, grant writing services, that's being referred to the EDO, as if you haven't got enough on your plate already. The Make-A-Wish chapter, Newfoundland chapter, Canada, donation request for the 29th annual Run of the Rock in July the 5th to the 17th. Partnership with St. John's, HMCS St. John's, Finance, you have a recommendation in your report on that. Municipalities, Newfoundland, Labrador, info note regarding several topics, and dated August to April 23rd. Info note regarding several topics dated May the 7th. And media release, creative home mural and artist residency projects dated April the 3, May the 3, sorry about that. So there's a lot of stuff there from the municipalities, and the town of Harbour Grace did declare Municipal Awareness Week on May the 5th to the 11th was declared, and we had that posted on our website. Some other things in it, municipalities, Newfoundland, Labrador are getting very involved in the communities, and a lot of great reading there, counselors, for some different issues that may, or can, or may take place in our town. And one of the ones I'd like to address, and I was gonna do it after, is the first responder mental health supports. I want to offer congratulations to Assistant Chief Paul Ash, who did an interview with CBC regarding mental health and what our firefighters go through and day in, day out when you go to calls that don't know. And we spoke to Mr. Ash and firefighter Ash on this yesterday, LifeWise Newfoundland Labrador. But I want to thank him for reaching out and letting us know, because sometimes we think these instances are like we hear on CBC or in NTV, but it's here in our town too. And I want to congratulate and Assistant Chief Ash for coming out and saying what he had to say.
Great interview it was.
And just that's there, and he's aware of LifeWise Newfoundland Labrador. So that's a few things that came out of their information that was there. Our Garda World provides municipal enforcement services to communities. We are in the process with Bay Roberts, with Spanners Bay, with North River, and the town of Harbour Grace, a municipal enforcement officer. I think a meeting is coming up this week to go through the Friday. I think which councillor volunteered to attend that meeting. That's in Bay Roberts. We'll get it straightened away, and the perimeters are set there. And between the four municipalities, we'll get our municipal enforcement officer in place, which will make it a lot less stressful on our staff, and just get the perimeters of how it's going to work.
Mr. Mayor, I believe, we discussed that was in light of, business and economic development.
Yeah.
And because our chair, Lee, is working, I was probably given that, opportunity to fill in for him. And, Thursday,
Friday.
Friday?
Check your appointments schedule, because I know you're busy, and just let Mr. Dwyer know, and if not, I'll try to.
I think it's going to work fine, but, double check.
We want to get that up and running, and thank you, Garda World, for letting us know, but we have entered into an agreement that's been finalized by the town of Bay Roberts.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question on this, because it says the population of 4 proposed municipalities as per census 2021 is Bay Roberts, Spaniards Bay, Upper Island, Cove, North River. Harbour Grace is not mentioned on that list for the MEL.
We were the ones to sign off, and I don't think, I think it might be a mistake, Councilor Rice, that it should be Harbour Grace, not Upper Island Cove. I don't know.
I'm reading it there, it's
Yeah.
Harbour Grace.
Yeah, we're in it, and I've had 2 calls since their last council meeting from 2 of the councillors up there, and we just gotta get it moving, get it put to bed, and we'll deal with some of the issues that our staff right now have to take on. But that must be from somebody, Councilor Rice, but we already are, we signed off, and I think we're the first municipality to sign off on all.
But that's from, that's about the meeting that week at Bay Roberts, right? So
I'll
think
get
they
Mr.
did
Dwyer.
must be a typo, or something. But
We just get corrected.
It's nice to have town Harbour Grace on it.
Yeah. Thank you, Councilor Rice, for picking up on that. Bishop Road Works, seeking tender for road paving or road patching for the 20, referred that to Public Works. As always, we go to tender, we look at the best prices. So this is another group that do that type of work. Now, Deputy Mayor, you would know more about that than I do. Folks, Councilor Gordon Stone is going to small this one along with the finance. We had an increase in the municipal operating grants, and it benefited the town to approximately $28,000, 27,808. 27,808.29, and that's the one we had to readjust the budget 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I know it's in there again, so anyway, we were advised that we had to readjust our budget, and now they put it back in. So it means that the town of Harbour Grace now in our next payments, which will be the spring, we got our first payment in, I do believe. And the next payment will be the 129,488.28, the same thing, so it's a surplus there to come. That's where we can spend.
The first one covered.
Yeah, first one done. Okay, thank you. And I want to thank the government for putting them back in, because, right, we need that operator municipality on expenses that are coming up and trying to maintain tax rates and provide the same service. The federal budget highlights or grant match, or when I look at this stuff, I think more about a radio than anything else. The goes through it, and Mr. McCarthy does a good job in seeing what's there and what may be available for the town and grants and opportunities. Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Agriculture regarding leasing of a piece of Crown land. We discussed this at the round table after consultation and some things, they've come up with we can lease to own for a set term, 10 years maximum payments deferred on the lease grant agreement to the municipality starts to realize the revenue from sale of parcels of land. That's the piece that we were looking at, I'm thinking, and the business group will sit when Council Rogers gets back, and there might be an opportunity for that piece that they wanted $300,000 for that we can get for 10 years free. And as we sell the properties down the road, which was our hope, because that goes back to the ambulatory care part that we mentioned to Minister Osborne, that we can pay the money back in. So I'll ask that the business development group to continue to look at that and bring back some recommendations.
I've got two questions there, Mr. Mayor, on that one.
Yep.
We had some, really great help from, Dr. Greenwood in that, I guess he's one of the, bureaucracy supports for that. And, there was another, I believe, a gentleman, at West, at Cornerbrook.
Yes, there was. I think Councillor Deputy Mayor Keith Skinner may have contacted him first, but I forget the name right now.
So did we actually plan for a motion to send them, to give our thanks, or are we just going to offer our thanks here in the meeting tonight? Because they were very helpful, very supportive. Dr. Greenwood met with us by Zoom, and he set us up with the contact in agriculture on the West Coast. And for those two, we then ended up with three options that we can take. And those three options are gonna go now to Business and Economic Development Committee to pick one. And then I guess they'll make a motion, which we will. By the way, apologies from our chair of Business and Economic Development, Councillor Lee. He got called to work. He's an important guy in that work rural stuff that he had to make sure he was there. So I'm speaking on his behalf on a lot of this tonight, but he's done the legwork on it. So I guess Chair Lee will come back in with from his committee with a recommendation to us.
Well, there's the options that we never had.
Yes.
Option 1 and 2, I don't think are viable right now based on financials, but option 3 is an option that we can do. And if I go back to it again, I know when we spoke to Minister Osborne and his correspondence back to us, that was one of the sites that, based on the regional aspect, that we could utilize, and government already owned the property and everything else. So some opportunities. So the business development, the committee would like to, our economic development committee would like to come back with a motion on that, but I certainly agree that we should write it to a gentleman that helps us support and help bring this to where it's at today with Town of Harbor Grace, because we could have dropped the ball and left it there, and we don't do that anymore.
And as a business person said, in one of our old councils that Mayor Terry and I shared a long time ago, there was a business person said to us, it's too bad that you don't have an amount of land ready for development in case some business comes along or wanted a quick decision regarding space to do it. And we started working it back, I guess 6 or 8 years ago, and today this council is just getting to the point. It shows how slow some of this, and how important it is from council to council to council to build on one another's ideas. And I think this is a good example of this council building on those ideas with this. I think they're going to have close to 40 acres, is it?
Yes.
I think they're called 39 acres or something.
Yep.
And we don't have to come up with the $360,000. And it allows us to hold the land and have it ready to give a business or a developer the opportunity to do that quickly.
And having said that, I agree with everything, because the council of 2013, and when Councillor Barnes was there as his worship, there was a developer that wanted to build a hotel up around the Danny Carey Harbor Grace Community Center, if I remember correctly, and this is something that we can approach that developer also, because it became the problem with the land. So if the Economic Development Committee would take that and look at it, and bring it back to recommendations, we might look more than much at this side. We might want to look at that side too, to have the land in place, because we're 10 years without having to do anything with it. And once we sell it, then it becomes, we're in the government. Everybody okay with all that?
Oh, yes.
I'd still like to have a motion for the right to two gentlemen that assist us with this. And the one that was on the Zoom, and also the gentleman with Cornbrook will get the name, and thank you for supporting the happy citizens of Harbour Grace in town.
I'd certainly make that motion.
Moved by Councillor Gordon, do I have a second for that? Councillor Brennan, all in favor? Motion's carried. Building business applications, we have a number there that will come under the reports. I think you and your committee are sharing the reports. Little John Plumbing, Heating and Electrical, letter of introduction for a new business in the area. The Little John's Plumbing, Heating and Electrical have been operating forever and a day, but they're under new ownership, and they just want to write the town, let them know that they're under new ownership. And, I don't want to say the name, afraid I'll get it wrong, but, they're just letting people know that they're in business and under, the Public Procurement Act, and, that we would have to look at them, and, right, they're looking for business. Correspondence announcing the 2024 Karen Simmons Scholarship. Please look at it, it's for kids of counselors or children of counselors and administrators, and if there's something there, you've got a son, daughter, grandchild, right, put in the application for the scholarship. A COA, good news from Ms. Erin Kearsey. Sort of sad news for the town of Harbour Grace as we get to introduce Mr. Kearsey, who's done some work with Mr. McCarthy and our Economic Development Committee already, from what I understand. But we certainly lose a valuable asset in Nancy Robbins, who's been around this area forever. And she's done a lot to bring fruition to a lot of projects in the town, and certainly has been a good advice to us as a municipality. So we welcome Mr. Kearsey, or Erin Kearsey, and I'd also like a motion that we, I think that's coming forward, that we write Mrs. Robbins, and thank her for her time and support of the town of Harbour Grace. That's coming, perfect. We had the CSC&L newsletter dated May 1st, 2024 in your agenda, and I had 424, the Carriage Works Apartments, 104, 106 Water Street, refer to Housing and Zoning. 425, the billing application 26 extension on 104, 106 Water Street, and the building application for 68 Alberta Drive. Recommendations will come from Housing and Zoning. Committee reports, Capital and Public Works Committee.
Mr. Mayor, the first one will be 2.5, 465 Southside Road. Our committee met with our Public Works Supervisor, and we came to the conclusion that the water and sewer for this resident in question will be permitted to connect to the town services with the understanding it will be for normal household use only, not for filling swimming pools or watering lawns, but just for household normal use.
Motion that the application 465 Southside Road be approved pending that be approved with on the permit that it's used for regular household use.
Yes.
Not filling different things or regular household use. Moved by Deputy Mayor Keith Skinner, seconded by Councillor Brendan Chase. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary? Motion's carried.
And 4.1, Chris and Jennifer Sullivan, sir. This has been passed on to our Public Works Supervisor, who we dealt with in our annual road maintenance work.
Motion that we pass that along to Mr. Hearn for regular road maintenance. Moved by the Deputy Mayor, seconded by.
Mayor, we did meet on that, and actually some of us after driving on that road, and the road's got something new got to be done with this year.
Okay,
along some other roads in this town, we gotta do.
I think the public works are getting that together, but I think we should write Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan too, because they did put in a petition.
Yes.
And when all in favor of that motion, refer to the public works, show of hands. Contrary, motion is carried. I'd also like to ask for a motion that we write Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan, who got this going, as right council, say their letter was at a table at the May 13th meeting of council, as we referred to our public works to get something done with the road.
Yes,
So can I have a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion, sir.
Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Terry. All in favor, show of hands. Contrary, motion is carried.
4.2, Mr. Mayor, Biomax Environment, and is a motion to cancel the monitoring of this outfall, as the usage is way below normal capacity.
Motion to cancel usage as per town policies below the usage. That's required. Moved by Deputy Mayor Keith Skinner, seconded by Councillor Gordon. Discussion? It's below the standards. All in favor, and that's costing us a fair chunk of change here. All in favor, show of hands. Contrary, motion is carried.
Yes, sir. 4.7, sir, from, Mr. Crocker, unfortunately, Mr. Mayor, the town is not responsible for neighbors' actions on this matter.
Motion that we write Mr. Crocker advising that the town is not responsible for the neighbors' actions on this. Moved by Councillor.
Mr. Mayor, don't we get snow clearing regulations?
Yeah,
Don't it state in that neighbors can't dump snow on other neighbors?
you're not supposed to put it out on other people's property, and you're not supposed to put it on the road.
But the only thing is, I think what,
Excuse me, order, Mr. Mayor, we need a seconder before we discuss.
Okay, it's moved by Deputy Mayor Keith. Do I have a seconder for the motion? Second by Councillor Gordon. Continue discussion. You're right, the town does have a policy that you actually can't push snow into the road in any way, shape or form. And I think the issue with Mr. Crocker has been pushed on his fence.
Well, it's coming from two neighbors, and then when our plow goes up, all the snow's gonna down and break down the fence of the year.
So, and I guess just from, I suppose just to understand, so do we know for sure that like burning down this fence is the neighbors and not the neighbors and our equipment inadvertently from the neighbor's snow? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think
Is it a little bit of a snowball effect?
I think it's been ongoing for a while, and it's pretty well the neighbors that continue to do it according to Mr. Crocker, and, we should, make a suggestion, because we got to vote on your motion, which is fine.
the only thing is that
We should write the neighbors that are mentioned publicly and advise that the town does have a policy with regard to snow clearing, and they just adhere to the policy. And so we're getting both things done at one time.
and the only thing is to Mr. Mayor and Council is that hopefully, when we get our municipal enforcement officer, and then we can pass the line to him.
It's
Can be
hard
dealt
to-
with, right?
Yeah, it's hard to keep an eye on what's going on.
Yes.
So I'll deal with the motion that was put forward first. So all in favor of the motion? Show of
Before
hands.
that vote goes ahead, sir, can we make a friendly amendment to that one? Because what you're saying is really the same thing as our chair is saying there. We're saying that there's not really anything we can do technically, but we can write a letter making his neighbors aware
I thought snow clearing
of what
policy
the
is.
regulations are.
Yeah.
And we hope that that will help the situation.
But I'd like to do two separate motions, because, because I think we have emphasized in the second motion that we do have regulations in town, and, and the the neighbors that complaint are about, and advise that we do have snow regulations in town, and they will be enforced on a go-forward basis, because that's where the MEO comes in.
Yes.
So if I could leave the two motions separate, I think we'll get more clarification to it.
Sounds good.
So the first motion to approve is show of hands, so now we need a motion that we write to neighbors, that, Mr. Crocker has an issue with, advise the town of Harbour Grace does have snow clearing regulations, which we can forward to them. And that, these will be enforced by the MEO as he becomes an employee within the town of Harbour Grace. Moved by Councillor Terry, second by Councillor Brennan. All in favor?
Sir?
Okay. You okay with that one, Councillor Brennan?
No, a little more information.
Yeah. So you're gonna vote against it, because you gotta vote.
Yeah.
Okay. So show of hands was 1, 2, 3, 4, against was nay. Councilor Randers. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Councilor, or Deputy Mayor.
410s are, have the Pumphrey that has been dealt with just a few minutes ago with the groundwater. And, sir, the last one on our list is, 4.15, that's Research Road work. And our committee has just put on the agenda to look at. And in the meantime, we are waiting for prices of pavement to come in and to see which roads we are going to pave this coming season.
And though, that will be done under the gas tax money that we have, based on what is done, and we present it back to council.
Yes.
Okay.
We do have prices, but it's last year's price.
No, we can't go by last year.
No, so this is what we're waiting on there.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Anything else, Deputy?
No, Mr. Mayor, that's it, for, Capital and Public Works Committee. Thank you.
Finance.
Mr. Mayor, you may see a little bit of moving around here tonight because I've got some last minute information from Councilor Rogers asking to, fill in for his absence. And we've got some things left over from last meeting, Business Horizon. So, I'm going to try to, move through it as smoothly as possible. Well, first of all, from Business Horizon regarding, some things that were going on. First thing I will bring up is the selling of a Suburban truck on behalf of our volunteer fire brigade. And, so I will, first of all, inform that we had one bid on that particular item, the 2011 Suburban truck, in the amount of $5,001. And that was from, Carmenville Fire Chief. The fair market value was quoted at $6,962. The brigade, our brigade, is satisfied with the one bid that we had. But a technicality now means that we have to contact government to get permission to sell it, so thus the motion. So I move, that council, right government, and seek permission to accept the $5,001 bid for the 2011 Suburban truck that we advertised.
Motion that we write to Minister of Municipal and Provincial Affairs to accept the $5,001 that's for the Suburban truck, and that, look for a speedy answer, because this is going to another fire department in the province.
Second member.
Mr. O'Toole. Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Randy. Russell. This will be used as an officer response vehicle for suppression and preventions within their department. So I think we should emphasize that in our letter too. All in favor of the motion, will show of hands. Contrary, motion is carried.
We're on that, we don't need to make council no more, right?
Just a minister thing, and I've asked Mrs. Dwyer, she called in on Friday, I think the tenders were open Friday, but they wanted to motion so they can actually do it. So once it comes back, and it will come back, the fire departments would, I guess Mrs. Dwyer reach out to the fire chief will reach out to the chief out there, they will come out and get the piece of machinery, pay it, the check will come to the town of Harbour Grace, which time we would cut a check for $5,001 back right away to Harbour Grace along with the fire brigade, because they bought for the truck out of their own resources.
So,
Okay, Mr. Mayor, on to the next one. It's also another, set of bids on the C-10, outside on council property. There were two bids, in regards to this particular item. Adam Shepherd, $4,750, and Wallace Pike, $2,500. And the $4,750 bid is, above, the market value, so we don't have to look for permission to sell it on that regards. But unfortunately, we still got to ask permission to sell it.
Because the town asset,
Yes.
Yeah. So I
believe it or not.
move that we seek ministerial approval in the amount of $4,750 to sell the C-CAN to the successful bidder, Mr. Adam Shepherd.
Move to ask the minister, we can sell the C-CAN that came in overpriced at $4,750 to Mr. Adam Shepherd with the highest bidder, $4,750. Moved by Councillor Gordon. Mr. Shepherd, of course, would have to move it at his expense also. So it was moved by Councillor Gordon Stone. Do I have a second for the motion? Councillor Randy is second. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary, motion's carried.
Okay, so I think, what we'll do from there is we'll move into the finance, matters from our agenda. Due to technicalities, regarding the, supplementary assessment motion of last council, I move to rescind that motion number 24086.
Motion to rescind, motion number 24-086. Moved by Councillor Gordon. We'll find out why, because we just need a clarification. It's done in the next motion.
We needed some dates
Moved by-
associated with it.
Yeah, moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by
I'll second it.
Councillor Brennan. All in favor, with show of hands, contrary. Okay, go ahead. Motion's carried.
And as you said, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to now repeat the motion pretty well, word for word, with dates involved and some restrictions that we needed.
Correct.
So I move that the June and September supplementary tax assessments be prorated from and including the month on the supplementary assessments for both credits and charges. So if we're doing advantages to our citizens in regards to the charges, we're also gonna do it in terms of the credits.
Correct.
For consistency. The new policy will be retroactive to December 2023 assessment. That's fine.
As per the assessment date. Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by
Second that motion.
Councillor Brennan. All in favor? Discussion. What it is, if it comes in March or June or September, it's done. If it comes in December, it's all prorated as per the assessment date. And they will get their charges and they will get their debits and credits done and adjusted. All in favor? Contrary, motion's carried.
Is there, the next item is in regard to, last meeting, council sent, finance, committee back to do some, rental rates. So this is our report back. Councillor Keith and Councillor Brennan and myself make up that committee. I move following rental rates for Danny Terry Harbor Grace Community Center meeting room. All rates shall take place the date of this motion, but existing reservations shall be honored. Parties with no ice time, $121.74 plus HST. Parties with ice time, well, this one's unchanged, but it's $240 plus HST as it is at present. Zumba, no change, present user pays, I think it is $30 an hour. For profit users, so this is in the event that somebody rents the room to make money. And the rental rate would be $250 for 3 hours plus HST. And other events, because you'll never cover them all, manager's discretion.
Moved by Councillor Gordon Stone that the rates as indicated. Parties with no ice time, $121.74 plus HST. Parties with ice time, $240 plus HST. Zumba, no change as present user, and for profit users, $250 for every 3 hours plus HST. Other events would be at the manager's discretion.
I think I missed one, did you? miss
Town
one?
sponsored partnering committees and groups will be zero.
Good.
Town sponsored, that's part of your motion, correct?
Yeah, I just missed the first one.
I'm in charge of volunteers.
Moved by Councillor Gordon Stone. Do we have a seconder for the motion? Deputy Mayor Keith, all in favor with a show of hands. Contrary, motion's carried.
I'll see if I can get that one right there, Councilor Chair. This one is in regards to the other town buildings. And we have, the soccer building, the railway station, the tennis court,
Softball fields.
yeah, well, we're looking at building zone.
No, yeah, that's the old, canteen, beside it.
Okay, well, we can put that,
That's what happened to.
Can I hear what's been said?
I'm sorry,
The canteen is always, I think they got in the canteen of the softball field.
Yeah.
What Councilor Perry saying.
okay, but we're saying all other town buildings, so if there's another one I've missed or we've missed, we'll add that on as you recommended there, Councilor Terry. So that, and, the historic, school building. Auditor. So the town sponsored partnering committees and groups, $0. For parties, birthday parties, that type of thing, or, meetings, government groups, small groups or something like that, $50 an hour. For-profit users, if you're making money, $80 per hour. And, that's all in regards to that.
Town-sponsored partnering committees and groups, 0. Right, that's part of that motion?
Yes.
Because I didn't, and moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Brennan, discussion, all in favor? Contrary, motion is carried.
The next one is the operational policy being suggested for a newly renovated historic Otterbury Schoolhouse to ensure, smooth use of that building and the protection of all the great work that was done there by our leader, EDO as leader, and our town recreation person and volunteers in the community. So it's up and running now. I move the following policy for the use of the historic Otterbury Schoolhouse effective the date of this motion. A, Earhart's 50 Plus Club shall schedule all events for the schoolhouse in consultation with the town manager and the economic development officer through the town calendar. B, Earhart's 50 Plus Club shall be provided a key to the building. C, Earhart's 50 Plus Club shall provide their key on a sign-in, sign-out basis to town groups and partners with 0 rental rating only. So that's specific events.
Should we make sure we grow key too?
Well, that's not in this motion, so. This key is considered as part of our group, that this belongs to all of them. But you, I'll just finish it there. Paying groups, individuals shall visit the town office to pay their rental charge and pick up the key on a sign-in, sign-out schedule once they have been given a reservation time by Earhart's 50 Plus Club. But that's our recommendation to finance.
Moved by Councillor Gordon, second for the motion. Councillor Lanning, so you can get this for, you can get a key out to Earhart's 50 Plus Club as we do with the calendar, the town calendar, when's bookings, or you can come in here to get a key, right?
That's up to the town, sir.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm just reading here that, we'll provide a key sign in, okay.
The only thing that, the motion.
Town office to pay the rental charge and pick up the key on sign in, sign out schedule. We can work that out, whatever it is, because it's issues.
The private ones are meant to only come to the town because there's money involved.
Okay, yeah, okay.
For the other ones, there's no money involved.
Just
the
reach out.
same process, whatever's convenient, I guess.
Okay.
So just for my own question, so I'm part of the public committees for the council, so one thing that was the Harbor Race Regatta Committee. So the Harbor Race Regatta Committee wanted to book a meeting for an hour and a half, say. We would go to the Earhart's 50 Plus Club, to book it, and then the town to get the key, or to book it, whichever, that would be in. The book that you had, all the bookings will be done to Earhart, so that the office doesn't have to take it out. Had to take that out as an extra roll. And then the key, for paid people, you have to go to the office because there's money involved. The other one is just whatever's convenient, I assume. We're trying to make this.
This is to get a policy in place now, so we got clarification on what's done. That's what this is. But we had to make adjustments down the road, is fine. But we can't have everybody coming in here all the time, getting a hold of Mrs. Dwyer or Mr. McCarthy. I want to book, like, the town calendar, we'll look at it, you book it in, save it, and it's done.
Well, there's a calendaring system that, we've got here.
I think the non-profit users like Regatta, city events,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got a problem with that, but they should have their own nights though.
Just gotta book it on town calendar, because somebody could book it, and we got the town calendar in the system now, the same as we do for everything else, so when they phone in, say civic events phone us. Well, boys, we wanna have it for Thursday, so Thursday you just book it in the town calendar, or Thursday is booked for something else, cause somebody else booked it. So we can't kick them out, so it's just to find a date on the town calendar, and can we show that town calendar on our public website? So people will know when it's available.
Absolutely, it should be, and, I'm hoping there's one opening day that we had, but they never give away all the desk stuff around there.
I saw 2 desks here the other day. Anyway, all in favor of the motion? Contrary, motion's carried. And the opening is on, the official opening is on July 7th. July the 7th, and that went out in the newsletter, which went out last week, and it's on our recording. July 7th. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Gordon.
Okay, this one's from Business Arising. I move that council deny the request in the letter from RID 083894 regarding tax exemption. Said this would require a tax schedule 2023 revision affecting the 2023 budget. That should read. Yes, the 2020. I got the right,
Yes, you do.
You do, yes.
Okay,
It's 2023.
yeah,
Because
because that was a,
with parcel ID, there were some exemptions to come in under the parcel ID for 2024, but this will be 2023 that you're dealing with now. Business tax.
yeah,
The business tax will be adjusted going out in 2024.
no, that's 2024, sir.
2024.
Yeah, because remember we made the tax schedule change in 2024, this budget, regarding our family physicians. Yeah, and this is, so that should be 2024, please correct that on your sheets. It's the same problem, because right now we're past April, and the government don't, which I make retroactive changes to your schedule or your budget.
The parcel ID will receive your business tax exemption for 2024, it's the first year starting business. Whatever the town policy is, which is different altogether.
Yeah.
That exemption has to be put through. Right? We have a business tax policy that will come out.
Follow policy.
That went out,
Yeah,
that went out when the letter came in, and it was part of the letter that came in under parcel ID that they were there, but, Mrs. White never had exemptions put through at that time.
This one was on a different basis. In terms of the first year of operation, that was easy.
Yeah.
That's a policy decision. This one affected the budget, so we couldn't make it.
No.
So we're expecting, of course, that for 2025 budget year, they feel the same way. They
Put in the letter.
put in a new letter, and then when it comes to consideration, with the schedule, we can make that decision.
Motion that the request for parcel ID regarding tax exemptions, this will require a tax schedule 2024 revision after affecting 2024 budget, and all exemptions as they're entitled to will be come through.
Yeah, that's.
Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Deputy Mayor Keith. Discussion. All in favor? We should also write the parcel ID and advise them if they wish to look at us, the revision in the 2025 budget, that they can write us again, and correspond with them that they can do it again. All exemptions for 2024 have been put through. 2025, they can write again and ask for same thing.
Mr. Mayor, within that letter, are we gonna have in, they may be unaware of the date or cutoff for having that letter in, for it being looked at, so I don't know if we should give them a time of year to actually have it back into us so that this doesn't happen, because it is a time.
That's good suggestion.
Right, it's a
But,
time thing, right?
probably I could ask for a motion of write parcel ID and advise them by September 30th, if they wish to put the same request in for 2025, that we will entertain their suggestion.
Yeah.
So if I have a motion that September 30th, I'm saying because the finance committee is well into the budget by September.
Yes, we are.
So do I have a mover for that motion? Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Brennan. Discussion. All in favor? Answering motion's carried.
Is there next item, There are two bids on the call for installing windows and doors at the town hall, and one late bid that was excluded. The bids were Atlantic Enterprises Limited, $57,271.15. And Exine Glazing and Aluminum, $44,891.75. I move to accept the bid from Exine Glazing and Aluminum in the amount of $44,891.75.
Also, the town of Hargreaves accept the bid from Exine Glazing and Aluminum for $44,891.75 for installing windows and doors at the town hall. And to be noted that the second bidder was Atlantic Enterprise at $57,271.15 for public record. Moved by Councilor Gordon Stone, seconded by Deputy Mayor Keith. Discussion, all in favor?
Discussion, Mr. Mayor,
Yeah,
are those windows gonna be vinyl or are they gonna be aluminum? That was already there.
I can't answer that because I don't know what was in the tender, so we had to follow the tender process, whatever we mentioned in the tender.
That will make a difference on the price.
I'm assuming they bid on the same thing. So when they're
It
open,
was out in the request for interest, I think it was aluminum, but I don't have it for me.
But do we need to check that before the bid?
no, it's a good question.
No, I'm just saying that it will make.
I'll just, take a minute and we'll,
Before.
take a minute, Mrs. Dwyer will go get it, cause it's a good question. And I want to ensure that you mentioned that they both bid on the same tender
Yes.
that came in, and whatever the tender is, it is. Go ahead, Councilor.
The lower bid was aluminum, was metallic.
With the metal part.
but that was one of the options,
Pardon me, sir?
that was one of the options.
We voted them back out to, went to the tendering process was, and as the bids that come back in, there was one that was late that we had, that we couldn't entertain, and it was the other two.
I'm 99% sure, it would be 99% sure.
No, I was,
It is aluminum, but
Yeah, I don't know what the question was at.
Pete,
Carry on here, Councilors.
materials about.
Was Millman to Councilor Royce?
Aluminum?
Yeah. Refer
So
himself.
actually, the
Yeah,
aluminum
so Mayor, what's gonna happen to the doors, yeah,
What?
what's gonna happen with the doors, what's gonna happen? No,
I don't know what it was on there. I get this forwarded first, and then we can talk about what's happening to
I
the other one.
understand stuff on the roof and the windows being done, but I can't vote for that, and for the doors being replaced up here.
Okay. Well, there's a motion to the floor, and do I have a second for the motion? Dave?
Second.
So it's discussion, it's all in favor? And contrary? Carried. So,
You know,
Well,
what,
what-
sure with Councilor Barnes, because like, I don't see why the doors need to be replaced. There's nothing wrong with them really, right, like,
I don't know, I know that we went to tender, they were identified to get them replaced, and we went to tender on it, that's what I know, and that's what information was given to us as a council.
yeah, but in the beginning it was because of air quality and drafts or whatever, and the windows are not up to date. But the doors are better than any doors that are in any of the schools that we have in the area. So the same as the doors up to the arena up there. We have aluminum steel doors up there. Take them out and just throw them away for the sake of.
I don't think we should be throwing them away, but I
No,
think.
but if they're not broken, they shouldn't be taken out just because it's on a tender, right?
Well, the vote, can I have all in favor of the motion again, so we see? We voted for the motions 4 and contrary is 2.
Yep.
Okay, with a show of hands. So, Councilor Burns, good question, what's gonna happen to them? Obviously, from the discussion, the doors are still good, so we should be saving the doors in case we need them. And putting them up in storage somewhere that we got them, if we need them.
No, but what I'm saying, Mr. Mayor,
I've been told by
we
one
didn't
of
have
the
the,
bid on
the
it.
doors didn't have to be included in the price, in the specs when you went in. Because the doors are not broken, they're not, I don't see anything wrong with them.
So, Mr. Mayor, can I just ask a
Well,
question?
like that money could go towards the units on the roof.
I just have a question, so, once this is awarded or not awarded, let's just say it's awarded for.
Right now, the vote is 4-2 to award the tender.
Okay, so if we award the tender, and it comes late from the installer that the doors are okay, can we adjust and not replace the door once that's after going?
Well, if you give
No, you gave it in.
I would think that we can't do that, because then we gotta go back again and re-tender the whole process under the Public Tendering Act. And I'll speak about the Public Tendering Act a little bit later, but
Okay.
I took what was given and we put it out to tender. Now we're finding out something different, but the tender is awarded. But I'm saying now, if the doors, I'm thinking if the doors are that good, then doors should be put somewhere that when we need them, we got them again. And if Buddy or the bidder, Exxon comes in and says the doors are good, well, we can't say, take it off the bill, because we gotta go back and tender again to Atlantic and everybody else to retender again. That's what
Mr. Mayor,
we're tendering.
Mr. Mayor, just take the door off right there. That was a steel door over there, yes, the door was gone, it was shot, it had to be replaced. But the doors that are in the front of this place are nothing handy compared to what was over in the far off. So like, replacing the doors, I think is a waste of money myself.
Okay, let's get on to the next one. Okay, and please ensure when the doors come out, that the doors are saved. To ensure that if something happens, we got the doors again, we don't have to go through the process. Go ahead, Councillor Gordon.
I never had any comment on the doors yet, so according to what I was told at the beginning of this, the lock latches are not working properly, and there's large air spaces in there, but they're not airtight by any means. So I'm voting on the basis of the information we used months ago, and we talked about it, so the best decision based on the information that I was given. If all of a sudden they're good, I hadn't had,
Time
I
process.
got no evidence regarding that, I had evidence that they're no good, based on what I was told, that's why I made the motion.
That's why I voted for the same thing, that's what we're doing.
My opinion and my discussion there on that is, I'll go back to the same thing again. If those doors are gone, everyone in the school's gotta be replaced, every school. Because they're way beyond what's up here, like far as I'm concerned, those doors there, nothing wrong.
Councillor Gordon?
Okay, sir, number 9, this is regard, the last,
8?
no, 8 I'm on, and this is on item 4.6 from the agenda. I move that the town grant the Harbor Greens Regatta Committee.
Excuse me, sir, I'm not in conflict with this because of monetary gain, but due to my closeness to it, I was a little bit uncomfortable with this, I'd like to change the that's okay with council.
I think under,
I never said I was in conflict.
You don't need to leave.
No, what have we done?
Shut up, leave. No monetary gain, but you
No,
know,
there's no monetary.
it's something budget every year in the town budget.
but it's not this year, because this is a different motion.
But still, Mr. Mayor, you have no monetary gain, you know that.
I'll stick it, I'll go
You're
here.
not going around with standard, I tell you now.
What is the motion?
I do agree that there's no conflict.
There's no monetary conflict.
From my.
No, but Councillor Chief feels is a perceived conflict, so clarification from the chair is not in conflicts, that's it, it's over, that's all.
Okay, sir, I can proceed. Okay, I'll begin again. I move that the town grant the Harbor Greens Regatta Committee an extra $1,000 from the 2024 budget, 2,000 total for 2024, to correct the accounting oversight of $1,000 payment that would have been paid out in 2023, and that this money be taken from the MOG 2024 extra payment.
Motion by Councillor Gordon Stone that the town grant the Harbor Race Regatta Committee an extra $1,000 from the 2024 budget for 2,000 in total to correct the accounting oversight of a $1,000 payment that should have been paid out in 2023, and the money be taken from the MOG 2024 extra payment of $27,000. Moved by Councillor Gordon, second by Councillor Terry. And just for the public record, if you request, you have an annual request in, we have to get it in written form that we can deal with. So that was where the confusion came. Just for example, CV Museum will put in a request each and every year. So this is just an accounting thing that never happened. So that's done, taken care of. All in favor of the motion?
I discussed the first principle. I've been thinking about this and other payments that we're sending out. And the museum, I'm thinking about the museum, CIB, the regatta. Not city events because they work directly with the town, maybe Earhart's.
We get Earhart's work, what we call them there.
Yeah, okay, well, anyway, in these particular cases, we're giving out, grant amounts to groups to support them. I think, and we would have to introduce this next year if there's agreement. I think we should be asking for a, what would you call it, a budget expenditure or a financial statement, showing how money is being used. Because we're paying our taxpayers' money to groups, and I think the taxpayers have the right to know, what these groups are doing with money. So, I'm not putting that in.
No, just, we're still at the discussion stage.
I'm just saying, I think we're doing this.
I think some finance should
Make a policy
recommending
for
for
next year.
2024 budget, if we're, just, we need a financial statement, just put it in, and we can do a motion on it after discussion with finance, and certainly something we can entertain.
If you're interested in hearing other people's opinion on it.
Is there either policy on record or in paper saying that you have to do this and have it by a certain date? Or just something that just come up last year, say, like, you had to put in a recommendation? Like, I know the museum always did, because they always put in a letter looking for the money, right? But is there anything there saying that all those groups have to request the money?
Traditionally, it's been asked of council, and council would make the recommendation from finance. I think with this was just an error that it wasn't sent in last year in order to, it was budgeted for, and with the extra, MOG money that we can help note, so we didn't pay it out last year because they didn't request it, so unless we get a request, I don't think we have the authority as a council or as a finance committee to make a recommendation to give somebody money that didn't ask us.
Yeah, but then,
To answer your question.
No, just give me a second there, then. When you do your budget, you put in your money for each group, how much money for each group. So if it's already put in the budget, why do the groups have to put in a letter requesting it?
That's,
I've asked the manager to do this because for somebody to come in and pick up a check, say, for $3,000, we need to know that that organization is being represented by a person they trust to bring it back to them and account for it. But we need to, somebody could come in and say they want a check, and later on, we could find out that the check never got back to where it was supposed to go. So from my point as chair of finance, I think that it's just prudent, financial practices.
The man, if you man museum, you don't think those already.
Well, it hasn't been done, people,
Not again, they go, you know, I can put a check in the bank today, it takes 5 days, to make sure it don't pay here.
well, anyway, that's,
You can't also bank tomorrow with check.
if council doesn't want that done, well,
I think it's
I'm
something that
responsible for
should be
asking,
entertained, and you should bring
That's the question.
a recommendation back. I think it's
Too late to
discussion.
ask questions afterward, right?
I appreciate that, Evan.
All in favor of that
That's always
motion?
the county practice. at that
All in favor of the motion? Call for the vote. Motion's carried.
Okay, I gotta have a quarter water, not just trying to write through this one. Number 9. And this is item 412. I move to deny the request for Make-A-Wish Canada since we have already donated locally, yeah, that's the policy.
Motion to reject the offer for the Make-A-Wish Canada Run Rock because we've already donated through Make-A-Wish Foundation. Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Randy. Discussion, all in favor? Answering, motion's carried.
Item 422, I move that we send a letter of congratulations to Nancy Robbins of COA regarding her new appointment and thank her for her wonderful support she has provided the town of Harley Race in the past.
Motion that we write a letter to Nancy Robbins of Aurora regarding her new appointment, congratulating her and thanking her for all the wonderful support she has provided town of Harbour Grace in the past. Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Brennan. Discussion, all in favor? Contrary, motion's carried.
There's another one here, sir, from Business Rising. This was regarding the new accessibility plan. Last time, council, accepted the plan, but we didn't adopt it. So that's a technicality. So I'd like to move the adoption of the new accessibility plan 2024 as presented to council last meeting.
Move to accept the accessibility plan for 2024 as presented to council. Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Brennan. Discussion, all in favor? Contrary, motion's carried.
The other things are now are on behalf of Business and Economic Development, Chair Lee. So I'll wait until that comes up on the agenda.
Thank you. Business Economic Development Committee.
Not much of a quick answer. Okay. Okay, Chair Lee. In our meeting, and our chair was there at this meeting, we discussed the Communities in Bloom program 2025. And I think it was a general agreement after our discussion with our EDO that the elements that were in this plan to put in place were going to be just too much for this year. So we're going to make a motion to defer introducing that till next year.
Motion to defer.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I move to defer becoming involved in the Communities in Bloom program until 2025 to allow council to strategize on how to best organize the various expectations that are integral to the program.
Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Mayor Pete. Discussion, all in favor, with show of hands. Contrary, motion's carried.
A lot of work to creating our community, organizing our community. Just as a note, we will continue our garden competition as we did last year. The strategic plan and its revision. We've had a council meeting, a community meeting. It's ready now to come back before council. And we have asked, I believe our chairs asked that we be given a half an hour before the next round table, before our next regular meeting, so that we can bring it back to the regular meeting to vote on. So, some of the things that we talked about, and now council gotta make a decision on, we want to have some emphasis in there on climate change. That's one of the things that's been brought up in the community. We haven't listed our infrastructure priorities. We've had great success in doing the ones that were listed. Now we need a new list. We've got a lot of successes that we need now, as with all strategic plans. We need to have an appendix now with a list of the accomplishments and the dates they were accomplished for future council's record. And we haven't got accessibility plan 2024 in there, and we need to put a reference to that in there on as others. So in our council meeting, in our roundtable meeting, we're hoping to see if we got agreement on anything else. And then we'll make a motion to put these things in. Our EDO has done the leadership work on revising it. And that will be completed then for 2025. And that project will go then 2025, 26 each year. So that's just for information. I guess we, Councillor Shirley wanted to bring recognition to some of the successes. Brandon mentioned the accessibility entrance ramp and social at the social building. New Horizons program 23 and 24 that has renovated the little historic schoolhouse, and it's running very well. The JCP program 23, that was a great success. We have, I believe, our EDO, we have youth workers in place for the summer. So that's ongoing. And we have a SAM partnership that's set up. I don't know, it's on the website. It's about I believe there are three pamphlets, a number of bird species on each one. Our community is encouraged to take pictures of it, of each bird, submit it to the web, that's identified on it, and participate in a competition for some prizes and things. So that's as a result of our partnership with the conservation group. I think those are the highlights that you wanted to mention, that's all.
Thank you. Housing, Environment, and Sanitation Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, so I'll just, go to business arising from minutes first, 2.3, Bill 54, update on first lien on property. Town manager has a letter wrote to the Minister of Provincial and Municipal Affairs. So this one for us is kind of, a work in progress. Town said a lot of work with government, this and going forward and whatnot. We had a meeting with a gentleman from number 1 Harvey Street last week, myself, Mr. Mayor, and Ms. Ward, and the gentleman that owns it. And just to give her,
Randy was there also.
Councillor
Randy was
well,
there.
Councillor Adams there too, yes, sure. There were Councillor Rice. The four of us went to that meeting, and there was some clarification on where we are as a town, where the government is, where it being read with the bill. We as a town are putting that into, or not putting it, we're gonna put it forward from our committee for the budget of 2025 for the removal, demolition of the property. Gentleman said it was a very productive, positive meeting. Where there's gonna be some things brought forward that he's gonna do to try and tidy up the property. He's looking at demolishing part of it if it's not going to be up to standard, reacquiring some of or refurbishing some of the components of the building, and if all else fails, he's going to tear it down. But through all those conversations, we do have a process to follow as a town, and a requirement to the citizens of the town with dilapidated state of buildings and structures that our committee, I'm assuming, is going to follow what we've been doing for the last little while, and sometime in the fall, if there's nothing changed or there's no progress with it, that we're going to be moving forward with that 2025 budget. Councilor, is there anything that I'm missing at that meeting there? I think that was pretty much sums it up, wasn't it, Mr. Mayor?
He's given Mrs. Dwyer a timetable that she will monitor. He's also been advised that we will be continuing with Bill 54, as Councilor Chafe said. And that would probably, I think the deadline that we said will be January 15th, to time we get our budget in and get it back from government. And we've asked him to maintain a dialogue with Mrs. Dwyer, because we don't want to be making calls or nothing anymore. Maintain the dialogue, because we're going to continue what we said we were going to do, and everybody was up front, and we've got to do what we got to do, and I wish him nothing but all the best.
Myself as well. I hope it works out for him, but at the end of the day, we gotta want to do what we gotta do. So now we'll move into the permits. There's one way I'm going to mention I'll skip past something you mentioned in the fire department liaison report. So I moved to 419 for building and business applications. There were 2 in business arising that are in this as well, so I'll just bear with me for a moment, we'll get through all this. So building business applications, 60/30 storage garage at lot number 4, Connors Valley Road. We have a motion ready here. I, Councillor Chafe, motion to defer the application until the regular next meeting. Within this motion, I would like for our town manager to arrange a meeting with the applicant, with the Housing and Zoning Committee, for explanation on what the garage is and if there will be a house built on that site as well.
Motion is made by Councillor Chafe to get in the applicant to get clarification on his application, because it's been a change from the previous name, and meet with the Housing and Zoning. Moved by Councillor Chafe, second by Councillor Rice. Discussion. All in favour? Contrary? Motion's carried.
B is for 32/20 shed at 32 Kildare Road. I, Councillor Chafe, motion to recommend the application for approval as per all town development standards.
Motion to approve as per all town development standards for 33 Kilder Road, moved by Councillor Chase, seconded by Councillor Rice. Discussion. Meets all policy, all in favor? Contrary, motion's carried.
C is for a 30 by 36 house at 7 to 11 Doyle's Lane, and 30 by 36 garage at 7 to 11 Doyle's Lane. By Councillor Chase, motion to defer until our next regular council meeting.
Motion to defer 419 at 711 Dawes Lane until the next meeting as more information is needed. Moved by Councillor Chase, seconded by Councillor Randy Rice. Discussion. All in favor? Contrary, motion's carried.
And that one, sir, Mr. Mayor, was 2.6, it was in relation to 2.6 from Business Horizon. 32 by 48 house at 676 and 678 Harvey Street. I, Councillor Chase, motion to recommend the application for approval as per all town development standards and all necessary government permits and regulations. Owner must apply to the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure for driveway access to the house, and the house must be built to meet the grade of the sewer to obtain sewer in the area of our town. Owner must pay for water and sewer hookup prior to water being activated.
Motion to 676 and 678 as per stipulation provided by the Housing and Zoning Chair, Councillor Chase. Do I have a second for the motion? Councillor Randy, discussion. All in favor? Contrary, carried.
E is for a 30 by 26 house at Bannerman Lake Road. When we get to if this motion gets seconded, Mr. Mayor, a little bit of an explanation and discussion on this one. I, Councillor Chase, motion to defer the application until more information is provided concerning the Newfoundland and Labrador latent power easement running through the property.
Motion to defer until more information is needed for the 30 by 26 house at Bannerman Lake Road. Moved by Councillor Chase, second by Councillor Rice. Understand there's two easements going through it.
What's going on here? We got a Newfoundland Labrador power easement transmission line going through there. And there's a sewer line coming out through there as well, and water easement. So we've got some stuff going on there for our water easement, sorry. The thing with it is, what he's looking at trying to do is on paper okay if the Newfoundland Labrador power easement requirement side yards from that is okay, but we don't have anything in our policy or in our town plan for what to do in that scenario. So we're just looking for some clarification on that.
So that's the reason for deferment on the motion. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion? The motion is carried.
F is for 74 by 32 duplex house at 410 Water Street.
That's 411 to 413 Water Street. It should be.
This is 410, okay, so it's 4.
With the adjustment made to 411, 413, motion will be 411, 413. Wrong side of the road for 410.
So just bear with me for one quick second. Okay, so just for a little bit of clarification before I get into the motion on this, this is in an area of town where there's already homes. And like it's not like it's its own little entity off on the side of the street somewhere where there's no houses, okay? So I, Councillor Chase, motion to approve the application by invoking Regulation 11 of the Town of Harbour Grace Development Regulation. Owner must pay for the water and sewer hookup prior to the water being turned on.
Motion to approve using the regulations, Town of Harbour Grace Development Regulations for discretionary powers of the town for 411, 413 Water Street. Moved, seconder, discussion.
Mr. Mayor, does everybody understand what the discretionary power of the town is with for 11 and what it allows us to do this? Everyone's okay, everyone's understand that? I don't need to read it out.
Power flowing around.
We're good? Okay, that's it.
All in favor? Contrary? Motion's carried.
G.
Mr. Mayor, I can't vote on this one because I'm living on the street, so. Not conflict, no, but
Randy,
still living on the street, right, so.
do I have a second?
Know more about the place.
Excuse me, go back, the motion was, I need a seconder for your motion, 411-413. I thought it was Councillor Rice seconded, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Rice, you're discussed.
No, Council Rice said that he thought he was in conflict or to be removed.
Which number are we at?
Council will make that decision.
That's the chief, sir, the patio one place.
G? I don't think you're in conflict, Councillor Rice. Talking about monetary gain, this is a patio going on the back of the hills. And I think part of the motion is gonna identify the patio and what may or may not be, but if you absolutely feel that you're in conflict,
No, I don't feel
No,
conflict.
I don't know that you're not.
Because I know more information about
yeah,
the permit than anybody else.
okay, well, I'm moving, you're not, there's no monetary gain for you, there's nothing, there's not gonna be, your house is not gonna go up $100,000 because this patio is built on or nothing else.
Agreed. I don't know much about the area, but I agree with you, my comments.
You know, that's why, the reason being,
Go ahead,
the
Councillor.
reason being was that, when we tried to get one place attached to the Marshall Street project, municipal affairs said we couldn't. Because it had to be another project. Yes. But the sewer for those three houses runs under her staff. And we'll be also running under the debt that we're gonna give her a permit for, with stipulation. So, if I didn't know this, the rest of the council wouldn't have known, and it certainly would have went past. And then we would end up with the same situation, we ended up on another situation, back over here.
Councillor Chafe, can I have your motion, please?
Councillor Chair, motion to recommend for approval as per all town development standards with one stipulation. That if the deck has to be removed due to sewer issues, it will be at the owner's expense.
Moved by Councillor Chafe, do I have a second? Councillor Terry, understand everybody has decks going up there.
Yeah.
Understand that when we asked government if we could have the sewer back to the other side of the street, we had to make a separate application. So everybody else got moved by Councillor, seconded by Councillor Terry. Discussion? All in favor of the motion? Contrary, motion is carried.
Okay, H is for a dog boarding daycare grooming facility at 935 Cottage Lane. This material meet us at our last meeting, April 15, 24. It was motion to refer the business application submitted by Terry Lamitas for a dog boarding daycare and grooming facility at 9 to 35 Cottage Lane until this council meeting we're in now. Discretionary notice was to be placed in the shoreline for 2 weeks at the applicant's expense. This ad has been done and no complaint will receive the council. Therefore, I, Councillor Chafe, motion to approve the dog boarding daycare and grooming facility at 9 to 35 Cottage Lane as per all town development standards, all necessary government permits and or regulations.
Moved by Councillor Chafe to dog boarding daycare grooming facility at 935 Cottage Lane be recommended for approval as per all town development standards. It did do the shoreline for 2 weeks with no discretionary use and no objections. Moved by Councillor Chafe, seconded by Councillor Randy. Discussion, all in favor? Contrary, motion is carried.
I is a coffee shop / garden at 6064 Bannerman Lake Road. They were basically told that they had to wait for discretionary notice. We haven't had any answer back yet, so I, Councillor Chafe, motion to defer this until the next meeting.
Motion to refer until more information is required. Moved by Councillor Brennan, seconded by Councillor Randy. Discussion, all in favor? Contrary, motion is carried.
Okay, now we're gonna move into the last minute stuff that came in here. We added to our agenda. Okay, so it's 4.24, it's a business application for Carriage House Apartments, 104, 106 Water Street, which is our old council building just adjacent to us. So I have a motion ready there. For 424, I, Councillor Chafe, motion to approve the business application from Carriage House Apartments for a 4-apartment complex located at 104 to 106 Water Street as per all town development standards and all necessary government permits and or regulations. It's located in the town zoning area, which allows for apartments, so no discretionary notice is required.
Moved by Councillor Chafe, approve the application of Carriage House Apartments, 104, 106 Water Street, pending all the regulations. Moved by Councillor Chafe, seconded by Councillor Ray. Discussion.
I have some discussion on it, we have two permits for that address.
We do, a second one is coming in after for a
We
building.
have one for,
Business
apartments.
Yeah.
And we have a business application
Yeah.
also.
That's
Yeah,
coming.
oh, yes.
I take it the business application will be for the front end.
The business
I get
application
this
is,
one down.
the business application is for,
Over here, Russ.
the business application is for a 4-bedroom, for a 4-apartment complex.
Yeah. First application you dealt with was for the Carriage House Apartments at 104, 106 Water Street.
Yeah.
And then the next one's on the extension, so this is the apartment one. This
Yeah,
is
this
the one
is-
that we're voting on. So, and Councillor Rice, you second that.
Yeah.
All in favor of the motion? Contrary motion is carried. Now the second phase of it.
Okay, and so for 4.25 is a building application for 26 foot by 35.5 feet. I'm assuming that's 35'6" extension and building at 104 to 106 Water Street. I, Councillor Chafe, motion to approve the construction / renovation to build an extension 26 feet by 35'6" at 104 to 106 Water Street, following all town development standards and all government permits and or regulations with the following stipulations. Stipulation 1. The town is to be provided with a renovation / construction stamped set of drawings from a professional engineer. Stipulation number 2, a scale plot plan showing the extension of the new and old construction along with the parking lot detail. That's it.
Moved by Councillor Brennan with the stipulations as done. Everything has to be in before construction starts. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Randy. Discussion? All in favor of the motion? Contrary motion is carried.
And the last one is 4.26 for the garage on 68 Albert Drive. I, Councillor Chafe, motion to approve the construction of a 28 by 20 garage located at 68 Albert Drive, following all town development standards.
Motion to approve the application of 68 Alberta Drive, pending all town regulations. Moved by Councillor Brennan Chafe, seconded by Councillor Randy Rice. Discussion? All in favor? Contrary? Carried.
And I think that's it.
Tourism Heritage Committee.
I'm not much German on that. I just figured it ain't good here. But I'm very cool about the engineering drawing in the process for the ramp deck and the canopy at Atterbury, including the remainder of the New Horizon 23-24 funding. The storyboard on the educational history drafted for Atterbury Schoolhouse to be would celebrate NL funding, and hopefully we'll get that done, but before the opening of the schoolhouse. And our EDO attended a tourism session with regional partners over in Harston this past week, and I'm sure it was a very informative session that we listened to, so I'm sure he can bring us all back to whatever info that he thought was important to the town. That's it, sir.
Thank you, Councillor Randy. Parks and Recreation Committee, please.
Mr. Mayor, we looked into our softball field on Wednesday. Myself and Councillor Rice along with, Mr. Dwyer and, Mr. Evans, and our Parks and Recreation manager. There's a lot of work, and that's something that we do overnight. It's gonna be a 2-year process, but I think nevertheless, we gotta get it started. We're waiting for bids to come in from 3 proponents. We'll take a look at it then, if it's feasible, we'll do, if not, maybe we'll use our outside main. Cause she do gotta come in foot. And clear up the ball field itself and put back in the topsoil, and then she'll be solid over season. So that's something we can do overnight, it's gonna be this year and next year. Because, Sylvia's in bids and we're gonna sit down, we're economic development officer. Because this year will be election year, so. It's time to do for grants for money to try to get, I mean, it's LP is for kids. I mean, when you go that route, she might get money for our ball field. Not saying we'll give it all to her, but we play for so much this year and so much following. And our soccer field center needs some work, you know, that, we joined with Bay Roberts last year for the summer games. So we'll just do Mr. Regler and, I think that's in August.
August 17th to 20 something.
I think we come in for a week, we're not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of kids in the area, so we want to start to fill up to small also, I mean, she got a color every day. She got a color every day, and one she's gonna put in, can be put in. So that's too many things along the tennis court also, something different done with that this year. We gotta bring our big race communities up to stuff, I mean, we got kids in this area. And see when you drive down through Ivy Street. And see where we get up the Wednesday. Like I said, our tennis courts down there, this, these are at least a bit of work with them. And now we got some new money in the MOG, our finance chair, what we not spend that only for kids.
Fair.
Hey. So that's it for Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to add to that, Mr. David Evans, he said he couldn't give him the price on it until he had the specs on the ball field. And I took our town manager forward a copy to him in order for him to give us a quote, because without that, he could not give us a quote, right? And the other, and anyone else that would make a bid on it would need the specs to see what goes there and the thickness of the silica and the sods and all this and what size it's supposed to be, and so. I think Mr. Evans is the only one that looked at it so far, right? But, the way he was saying to me was that like, just the silica tile, he said it'll probably be 10 grand. So like, you're looking at, I think you're looking at a good many dollars, so like Councilor Barnes said, it could be a 2-year project once it starts, right?
Well, we gotta have.
But we need to start, the main thing is we gotta get a start to it.
Mr. Mayor, just for a point of record here for your committee, when you're getting these prices, you may want to just see to explore an option of hydro seeding as opposed to solids, because it's a fair amount you get, right? You're up, yeah.
Thank you, Councilor Terry. Danny Perry, Harbour Grace Community Center Liaison.
Okay, the new walking track, the new hours from May 6th to 27th, 4:30 to 8 p.m. Tuesdays, Thursdays from 4:30 to 7. May 27th, Mondays and Wednesdays, 4:30 to 8. I think that's really publicized on our website. And everything else is publicized too. The end of the hockey season is here, the bigger skate held in the year in April 21st, 2024, with a big success. The Lakers held week of hockey, April 21st, 27th. Hockey started May 6th, run till July 13th. And, I think you mentioned Tony got a lot of people, a lot of kids involved in the area. And I think we're gonna see a bigger program the following years. I think last time I spoke to Tony, it was up, 50, 160 kids, and it's phenomenal to see that. Take kids, with so much on the go, you want your kids in a place that you know is not gonna get in trouble.
And some events coming up there.
Yes.
May 23rd, 50+ Club, we're doing the dancing skills.
Yes, that's not much.
And then motorsports days are there, Councilor, in your report.
The circus is here June 8th and 9th, and the ball hockey is starting May 4th, we said we're already into the ball hockey.
Thank you, sir. Civic Events Committee. I think I already got you, didn't I, Councilor Renner? No, it was in the other one.
That's tourism, Mr. Mayor, the cat was on with a community breakfast with the Harbour Grace Civic Events Committee. It's happening Saturday, May 25th from 9 to 11 at Harbour Grace Volunteer Fire Brigade Open Building on Bannerman Street. Tickets are $5 each and available from any committee members. Carol McCarthy, Ashley Jane, Mary Ann Sheen, Nadia Buck, Nichol, Christina Coxner, or Deborah Rice. He's bringing on perishable food item in support of the Harbor Grace St. Vincent de Paul Food Bank. We'll see you all there. Yes, sir.
Earhart's 50 plus liaison.
So I'll do Fairfax and, culture, innovation and business at the same time. So, from Earhart's, congratulations to the winners of the spring draw. First prize, Grand President Bradley Reese, donated by, Don Regular Freeman, was won by Gary Abbott. Second prize, $150 cash, was won by Ron Buckle. Thank you to everyone who supported their event. June is Seniors Month. Earhart's 50 Plus Club will be having an open house afternoons each Tuesday and Thursday of the month. Let yourself in and visit Otterbury Schoolhouse. Stay tuned for more exciting events to be announced that celebrate seniors in June. So June's going to be a busy month for that group. And culture, innovation, and business are very busy working with our groups for pilots to pilots activities. One of our main things for a week here in the town. That's coming up this summer. They're also working hard on the Kyle Legacy project. They've made contact with a private funder, and that private funder looks like they're going to be supportive of that work. So they've got some applications and stuff they'll be moving forward on behalf of the town, and of course the town's been kept up to date. We've had 2 meetings with them regarding legacy project with the Kyle, which is meant, of course, to build around the story of the Kyle, not to actually do physical work on the Kyle. And I just shared a communication workshop that was done through CBDC program just recently, so they're working hard on behalf of the town. And that's the highlights of those 2 groups for the moment.
Thank you. Community events liaison, Deputy Mayor.
No, sir, we don't have anything yet.
Joint Council liaison, Councilor Terry.
Yeah, so Mayor, a few things to say. I think it'll be laughing. In the last 16 months, I think I've been 3 meetings. We can't get warm, I don't know. It's sad.
It is, it really is. They canceled the last one, I understand. They got another one scheduled for the end of this month again. It's unfortunate because, as everybody has stated, there is some money on the go for different things and regionalization and cooperation, i.e. municipal enforcement officer and things like that. So it's just unfortunate, but thanks for staying with it anyway, and hopefully you'll get one in shortly. Fire Department liaison.
Mr. Mayor, before I get into the fire department liaison, there's something just struck me here. With the applications for the doggy daycare for our 4 apartment buildings, the process that they're going through now in government, they're going to need letters of support. To go through this type of stuff when we get to their application process. They're going to be coming back to us in 2 months' time. So it's not on our agenda. It's not there. But I'm just wondering, should we get ahead of the game on this, or will we wait for them to come back to us looking for it? But it's going to come. They're going to need it.
We'll make a motion as council will give the applicant a letter of support for the development.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion to for our town manager to write a letter of support to the owner of the 4 apartment complex on Water Street, and I'll just make that motion now.
Moved by Councilor Benson, second by Councilor Randy. Letter of support for the applicant at
406.
104, 106 Water Street.
Can I ask for clarification?
Yes.
Councilor Brennan, what is this something new?
No, well, see, these government funding programs, it's just from my work. I'm seeing them on applications.
Or this is in regards to affordable housing and.
No, well, it could, yes, it could potentially be. And within that application process, they're going to be looking for letters of support from the municipalities that are put it in order to get their funding. So if we got a form now, we won't have to do it in our next meeting or the meeting after.
Okay, there's the federal housing.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And the same thing for for the doggy daycare, they're gonna be not looking for affordable housing monies, but they're gonna be going.
We'll do, vote on the first one first, all in favor? Contrary, motion's carried, okay.
My apologies.
No, go ahead with that.
And I'd also, like to make a motion for, the doggy daycare, located on Cottage Lane. We write a letter of support for them as well too.
Motion by Councillor Brennan, seconded by Councillor Deputy Mayor, discussion, all in favor? Contrary, carried.
So just one further question, thank you, on this. So this is all related to subsidized work.
Anything subsidized now, we're going to need a letter of support from the municipality that they're applying for.
Gotcha. That's a new thing. Thanks for that information.
I apologize for that, guys. Okay, so as fire department liaison, our fire department is always busy answering many calls over and over and over. They're bar none, probably the best I've ever seen or heard tell of. I'd just like to say thank you to them for that. Since our last meeting, we had the Harbour Grace Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame, where we introduced something new up here this year, which was the Long-Term Municipal Service Awards. And I'd just like to notarize that Dave Regular was a recipient of 45 years, Paul Ash was a recipient of 40 years, and Paul Snow was a recipient of 40 years. It was a great evening. I think it went over well. It's a great way to talk, and I appreciate the committee's, the Hall of Fame committee for allowing us to do it with them, and I'm thinking it went over well and may carry on next year. I'd also like to congratulate Assistant Chief Paul Ash on his interview with, on the television there about mental health, more leadership shown from the town of Harbour Grace. It's always good to see, and a very important issue and topic. So that's all I have to say on that, Mr. Mayor.
Christmas Hope liaison,
No, sir, nothing.
all fair liaison, with your stadium. Town clerk's reports, any questions or of the town clerk? You have us provided, folks?
I know the town clerk's report.
Moved by Councillor Gordon Stone to accept the report as presented, seconded by Councillor Randy, the question, all in favor? Contrary, motion's carried. Economic Development Officer's report. Most of it being taken care of in the committee reports. You have it there. It's been a busy time, a busy summer ahead. Motion to accept the Economic Development Officer's report as presented, moved by Deputy Mayor Keith, seconded by Councillor Gordon. Discussion, all in favor? Contrary, carried. Public Works Superintendent report. Busy. Motion to accept as presented the Public Works Superintendent report as of May 13th, 2024. Moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Deputy Mayor Keith. All in favor? Contrary, motion's carried. Municipal Officer, did any carry Harbour Grace Community Center Manager's report there? I think Councillor Burns brought it up and what's happening up there. I need a motion to accept as presented. Moved by Councillor Deputy Mayor Keith, seconded by Councillor Brennan. All in favor? Contrary, carried.
So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Danny Carey success story that's on the go right now. For years, I know before I was on council, people were always offering opinions as to how to improve the economic situation associated with the center. And there was talks about bringing in concerts and talks about this and talks about that. And I find it very, humbling to see that those who were closest to it really had the answer. And it was the expansion of recreation and sport, and professional sport, that has really made the system work. And good communication and relationships within that cooperation, which made it all work together. Our acting manager Amy, working with all the groups, our liaison committee, offering suggestions. It all came together through cooperation. So as many hours as we spent as a council frustrated trying to find answers, it all came down to working together. And I congratulate all of those who gave us information and made it come true. And now our economic situation I was supposed to mention in my report, as always, the economic situation of expenses versus income. And I believe right now, we're to the positive, Amy, is it 85,000?
86, a little over 86,000.
Little $86,000. And, I mentioned the last meeting, we paid our GST for the first time. And so it's really good. So we should always celebrate good because we always talk about the problems. And I think when you find solutions, we should celebrate the good. So that's why I mentioned that second time.
And,
Welcome to yourself, Councilor Stone, the finance minister, so, you had a big part of playing all that.
also,
That's what we're-
Mr. Mayor, I think we should
Thank you.
bring, Mr. Thibault.
Yes, I think partnerships between council and strategic liaison committee and administration was everybody working together.
Yes. Bring us up to speed where we were to.
And we know what we're doing, now we got there, so we gotta keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Councillor suggestions, concerns, Councillor Terry.
I think got a couple of them, both are concerns. I think something we gotta look at in the future, because, we had X number of dollars, we should have done some of the dredging with, or we could, we done told, I spoke to Councilor Brennan about this, and he was told there was a letter, I don't know if there is, and I don't think see if there is, there's a letter with these, private user groups, that we couldn't use none of that money, I was, private money went into the dredging, right? I don't know if that's true, all the time. Maybe, I don't know, she should have met with that something, we didn't know. But I mean, 10 days ago, 12 days ago, we had to do it like an enterprise on the ground here in our race. Now she's going for 15 tons, terrible, 1,000 ton on board. She may never come back here no more. I mean, we lost to Calvert last year, a couple of years ago, she ran aground. She would never come in here. Enterprise, like you said, got stuck here with 1,000 ton on board. Now she's gone for 1,500 ton. So are they gonna chance bring that boat back in here? I doubt it. I'd say she'll end up saying that or Argentina. So, I mean, you have the big employer over here, but I mean, I would see, I think it's like Marcus.
But I thought that one did, dredging.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody is, I know she's got on his dog. But what I'm saying, here we had a boat coming, get stuck. With 1,000 ton on board, but now she's down, we're trying to explain to you, got for 1,500 ton. She won't come here, just went down here, we're gonna lose her. And next year, we got one boat coming over here to a business. And maybe you could just that, the old business that was years ago, compared to today. It appears you no more work over there now for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
But what is the suggestion? Because the project, if I remember, Toronto figures was $7.9 million. We thought we could actually, it's 4.8. So we did everything to get to 4.8. So there was $3 million that we asked the partners to put into it. And all they had to do was come with a letter of credit. And
Yeah,
just for clarification, I don't know what else we can do. We can make the application again next year. I wouldn't go back to them now because we had a meeting and we wrote them to take it off, and they believe in the project. It's just that we had nobody to take the dents.
Yeah, but what, I mean, that 4.6, I'm not gonna lay around this.
No.
4.6 or 4.8, I mean, I'm calling you on come through. I asked you about it, right?
Yeah.
And you told me that your understanding was there was a letter come in to three proponents, never came on board.
Never come
They
on board, we
turned
had
money
to
back.
turn the money
So that's
back.
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Without them coming on board, do we have to turn that money back?
Yes.
We voted.
I don't know, I just want to.
No, directed here because, the money was a vote of council that we invited them back after so long. When we asked them to get back to us, we voted them back to the money, had to go back. What they stated was that it was a good project, they believed in the project, and if we made application again, then maybe looked up upon favorably, and I think that's what we said. So, we can make the application again. I wouldn't do it because we just said no to them 2 months ago, but to see what's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, there's somebody besides taxpayers telling our Grace to put money into it. And we went, and I'm gonna say it right now, Ken McDonald did wonders for us in that program. That went on the minister's desk, and I don't think it was gonna get signed off on. And we had called the minister from my office to get it through for us. So we done our share with it, and if the if the stakeholders wanna come to us again with a different thing, I think we had to be entertaining to it, but we went to them and it was silence. It was
Yeah,
deafening.
I know, well, we're outside here doing, well, so what I'm asking is that this council here was understanding that if the three proponents, they were putting their money in, we had to turn back the money. There was supposed to be a letter here saying that we had to turn it back. That's all I'm asking.
Matthew has a file on that. Matthew, you wanna elaborate on that, Mr. McCarthy?
I don't wanna get into the finances and all the figures from it.
Well,
But the entire scope of the project, you basically, we couldn't go anywhere without the private partners.
okay, that's all I asked.
We, you know, we couldn't essentially use, we had to go up with 20% somewhere, that was part of the funding, right? So,
I'd just like to, thank our EDO for everything that he's put on for the town of Harbour Grace. And that'll be it for me.
Thank you, Councillor Terry. Councillor Bray.
No, just like to let everyone know that May 24 weekend is coming up. The long holiday and that it's, you know,
Buddy, when you say a long holiday,
long weekend, this whole weekend, yes.
well, you speak it up.
Oh, it really is, I get a weekend off. I'll only take Tuesday off of the Thursday. But, like I said, remind everyone that it's a long weekend and that, usually when, this stuff comes on, everybody's enjoying their time and stuff and, not, abuse substance and drive, be safe and, be happy with where you're going on the weekend.
Perfect, working. Councillor Gordon.
So I'd like to, speak to our, 50-plus residents within the town and go back to the seniors month that's coming up in June. And the town, of course, partnering with one group and the other, we're trying to find ways of getting some of our senior citizens, which I am one of, by the way. I know you, anyway, I won't go there. But we're trying to get some of our senior citizens who may have mobility problems or transportation problems. We're trying to find ways to let those people know that if they'd like to come out and become involved in some of our community's activities, that we're anxious, and I say we're, Earhart's 50 Flows, the civic events, the council, to help them get up. It's not good enough to have, say, 50 or 60 of the best chair. It's not right to have 50 or 60 senior citizens enjoying everything, even though they deserve it if they come. We need to find a way now to get those other people who need our support to get out and do some socialization and have some entertainment. So if anybody in the community, or if any counselor or any volunteer sees a way of doing that, I think they should share their ideas with our manager. And through our manager, we'll listen to those ideas and try to implement them. But that's what's important in this town, is to try to get our citizens, all citizens, able to participate regardless of their ability. And you, sir, are a member of the
65 plus.
the inclusion activity in the region. And the whole idea of inclusion is all abilities, all the time, becoming the right to have involvement. So let's work on that. That would be my thing. Thank you, Councilor Gordon.
Councillor Randall.
Mr. Mayor, I watch the town every single day, sometimes twice a day, so. With spring officially underway in Harbour Grace, environmental concerns and town beautification is on my mind. As a council, and as a councilor, we are asking residents to clean up the garbage around the property and please clean up after their animals when walking dogs. Most people do, but others don't, and it's a continuing problem. It's everybody's town, and please be cognizant of the walkers that come behind you.
Thank you.
And I say this every year, Mr. Mayor. And it continues to get a little bit, I don't mind when the snow melts, because that's just left over from the winter, right? But when I'm walking and I see it fresh, well, like, and I've spoken to one, and I had a couple of other residents spoke to others, and what they got back from the response wasn't very nice. So, maybe those people are the ones that are causing the problem, but it needs to be addressed, and people need to be always thinking that, listen, everybody else got a walker, right, so you don't want to be walking in dog shit. So, I'm sure every community got the same problem.
You put a newsletter next time? Yeah.
And my other concern is that, Mr. Mayor, we're always looking for volunteers. There's lots of good people out in the community that got on to volunteer and probably never put their name forward yet, because most of the committees that we have, they got the same members. There's different committees, but there's the same volunteers. And it's only a matter of time before a burnout starts to happen. And then it all falls apart. If there's anyone out there that would like to volunteer with any committee with the town, just come to the office and pick up application, and we go from there.
Especially the young people.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Keith.
No, Mr. Mayor, not at this time.
I got a concern. I had a phone call today from Mr. Norm Nosary. For those of you that don't know Mr. Nosary, he was one of our government services building in Harbour Heights. As we know, they've moved to another area. Mr. Nosary tells me he was never notified of the tendering process. He's had it for 25 years and it was always extended. And he didn't know until August about the tender or nothing else. So I want to say public that I thank him for his 25 years. And he's got a 6,800 square foot building in Harbour Heights that's going to be done. He spent at one time $400,000 in upgrades up there. And I want to thank him for the thing, but he might be seeking other avenues. For the 25 years, he was just, you're extended, do this, you're extended. And he phoned me today and upset with the town, but that he wasn't notified of the Public Tendering Act after 25 years. And he has 2 buildings in our town right now that are going to be hard to do anything with. So I wanted to thank him, and I said I would mention it at the public meeting council tonight. And, it's unfortunate that, the building is left, but, I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that down the road. And, I think we should say a thank you, which I know publicly at night to Mr. Nosary for 25 years. He had no idea. I went out to tender, and he used to make a call, and, we're renewing your tender. Do you want to sign for another 2 or 3 years? Price was immaterial. When we said he would have done it just to keep his building. And he has some concerns as to why, as do you as councillors and our residents, so I want to bring that up. Okay, thank you. And I will be probably inviting him in to speak to council. He's been a taxpayer in this town for 25 plus years, but never a hitch. And unfortunately, he feels that something went awry. So just let you know. Being no further business, our next regular meeting of council will be on June the 10th. Committees will still be meeting. And being no further business, motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Brennan, second by Councillor Terry, second by Deputy Mayor Keith. All in favor, with a show of hands. Motion is carried. Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Thank you.